Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today I'm doing a video that has been requested quite a bit. I get asked a lot to work with polymer clay. Um, a lot of you, some of you, I shouldn't say a lot of you because I don't know, but you have hand issues like I do. I have RA and fibro. Uh, and I know a lot of you have hand issues as well. So we're going to do a very simple start of a polymer clay project. Couldn't think of the word. Okay, so what I have here is white souffle from SKYPE. It's called souffle because it is very easy to work with. It's pliable. It is one of the easiest clays that I have found for my hands that I like to work with. Now, you can see I got purple all over my hands because I've been painting all day and it's going off onto my white. Well, you know what? I don't really care because of this project I'm going to do. This isn't going to end up white. Now, as we do this project, you might look and say, you know what, I might want to use my silver clay or my gold clay. This is for any color clay that you have. Oven baked clay, air dry clay is something else. You don't have to bake it. You leave it air dry. Fantastic. It's a great thing. I have some as well. If you want me to use some to do a project like this, just let me know. But a lot of you ask for polymer clay. So, you know, I have purple paint on my hands. It's getting on here. I'm not worried. So a little trick that I do is I sit on it. Now I sit on it when it's still in the plastic. I sit here, I watch a video, or I listen to music, or I do, do something, answer emails, so I can, you know, warm it up. And when it comes out, it's very, very pliable. So you don't have to necessarily have a pasta machine. This is going to be non-pasta machine clay. But if you do have a pasta machine, by all means, go for it. So I have this piece. This is what, this is about as big as you, this is what the package is. And it's warmed up and I have it warmed up. I'm not going to use it all though. I'm going to take half of it and put it down for a minute because I'm not real sure how much I'm going to use. Now, I like to roll it in a ball, and what we're going to do is I'm going to use a stamp. Now, if you don't have a stamp, you can take this is a paper blender. You could take, let me see, what did I do with it? No, that's not it. We'll just use this. You could take a pencil, a pen. I save pens that don't write anymore because they work. You can get, maybe you have something that has a bottom like this. Oh geez, you can use, whatever you have. The end of a paintbrush is good. Do you see what I'm saying? Whatever. And if you don't have a stamp, my word for the year is breathe. So I can go in and I can handwrite the word that I want. Or you can use stamps that are alphabet or even stencils if you're that fancy that you want to do that. Me, fancy, I'm not known for my fanciness, let's face it. So we're just going in with a stamp. Find a stamp that you like. Now, this is just kid foam on a piece of plastic. Now, I bought this. I did not make it. Excuse the arm. I also have Dream. You can find a million different stamps. I'm going to make stencils with Breathe, and I have some cool stuff coming out, but right now that's what I'm using. So I have this. I am working, I'm going to put the paper away. I really wanted you to see it. It'll be better once it's baked. I'm working on my non-stick craft mat. You don't have to. You can work on, I love ceramic tiles that you buy from the home goods store. You can buy them like for 30 cents a piece, you get an unglazed one, and I love to work on that. I have quite a few of them around here. I've shown them in other videos. I'll link my polymer clay videos up in the iCard up here and down below. I'm redoing a lot of the videos you guys have been asking, and I love to give you guys what you want. So that's that. So all I'm doing is I'm going to press this out. But use parchment paper, use wax paper. You can use some brown, you know, whatever you have, something that it won't necessarily ruin if it gets a little paint or a little bit of the polymer clay liquid on it. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm doing for now is we'll use the word dream today. And I can see, you know, approximately how much bigger or how I want it. I'm going to make it a little bigger than the words because it could smush down a bit and shrink a bit when I go to stamp. So I'm using my fingers. Use your, you know, if you want, use your Sharpie or a pen and you can make it look how nice and smooth you can make it. Like you really, you know, really. I like to look at this. I'm using my fingers because I'm magical like that. And it is, look at this. How pretty. Already smooth and shiny. So, you know, plus you're making this. So think about the holidays coming up. Think about, because I'm going to be making a bunch of these. Some I will be giving away. Others I will be selling. But think about holidays. Now, we can turn anything into jewelry. This is not going to necessarily be a jewelry piece, but I got some really cool stuff I'm going to be showing you coming up. How we can turn things like this into jewelry. It will be one of a kind. It will be yours. You will follow the general, you know, instructions that I kind of show you here, but go off on your own and you will make, I'm telling you what, even if you are not a polymer clay person and you always wanted to try it, do it. Do it like this. Very easy, very, I don't want to say plain, but I don't mean plain. I just mean very, we're not basic. We're not basic. I don't know. I can't think of a good word, but you know, it's fun and you feel when you're done, it's fast. It's fast, instant gratification, which I love because I'm an instant gratification kind of girl. So I'm not somebody who really likes to play around too much, waiting days and days and days, which some things are worth days and days, but I haven't found many of them. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you can see very lightly taking my hand and I'm smoothing that myself because this is warm now that I sat on it and played with it. You can see a little mark right here. If I go like this with my finger, kind of going both ways, back and forth, making my thing move, you're going to see, and press it out, it will go away. There you go. You know what got in it though? The purple color from my hand, but there is no more thing there. I should have washed my hands, but I'm lazy and I don't need it because I'll be coloring this. Okay, so you see what I'm saying. You'll see what I'm saying. Now I'm going to take the word dream. Now here's a trick for you as well. Water. Water makes nothing stick to polymer clay. Now I know I have ink on the back of here. Now one thing I can do if it's bothering me, which it's not going to, because it's just going to go with what I'm doing, I can wet this and I can clean it off and stamp. You see it's coming off. You know, because that ink, it was maybe paint. Who knows what the heck it was. Now I'm going to just dry this, but don't worry about it if you have some ink or anything on there. This isn't about perfection. It's about making something that comes from your heart and your soul for somebody else. Okay, so I'm going to lay this here and I'm going to try to go, I'm going to squirt this without one of my fuzzies on it. Come on now. Okay. Fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. And I'm going right in the middle. And I'm going to push. And you can hear it kind of going in with the water. And that's just because this is foam. But you can use any stamp you have. You don't have to use this type of stamp. You can use a something with a cool, look at that. Something with a cool, oh, geez, you know, texture. I can't think of the word. Texture. You can use this. You can use, look, enjoy the journey. I mean, really, we can go all out crazy, and we will, because I have a lot of these coming out. Now, because I used, I don't know why I threw it away. Because I used this, and you can see here on the edges, I can trim this down so I know that that word's in there. Now, this depends on what you want to do. If you want to be fancy and you want to put some maybe doodles, or, hey, maybe you want to use another stamp you have just to add some texture and you just go and push it in. Okay, you can do that and push it in. Push it around the top. You know what I'm saying? Just to add a little bit of something. Even if you want, spray this again. It's not going to hurt anything. And take and go over like where we did the word dream and just give a little push. Just a little bit. See how that adds that in? And that's all going to be cracks and crevices. Now, you don't have to do that. Obviously, I didn't. Unless I re-roll this, it is what it is. But if you say, oh, no, it's too much. It's too much. Just take your finger, wet it again. Water is your best friend. And it's environmentally, good to have. And, oh, the purple's coming off of my hands. Almost like snakeskin, right? And you can see it just had some dimension in there. So that's up to you if you want to do it like that. Now I'm going to real quick show you. Let's say you do it and you don't like where it's stamped, right? So I'm rolling it. Going to roll it again, and the more you use your hands, the more malleable it becomes, meaning that you can, work it. Okay. Now, something I always like to tell you guys, and we will do it once we get our stamp in there. Let me do this again. Now you can see there's some water here, and I'm okay with that. It means this isn't going to stick. So I'm just going to go back to pressing, right? Use my Sharpie and get me some getting going there, right? And push it. Look how easy and fast. It's not a big deal because we're not looking for perfection. You might want it to look more like a rock or stone, which we're going to kind of do, with some paint and whatnot. But look, it's good. It's good. Again, I'm going to put it here so I kind of have an idea where I want it. I'm going to spray it a little bit more and kind of rub it. Get it smooth so there's no holes. Now look, that's an air bubble that I just popped that I don't necessarily want. So I'm just going to kind of work it and push it in and push it so it doesn't bother me. And you can flip it over and see if that side's better. It doesn't matter. It's all in what you want. All right. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm kind of like squishing it. And if I want it shorter, I take both my fingers and I just kind of very lightly push it. And you can turn it over and push it like this again. Push it back into the shape you want. And you see how it shrinks? It's just a good and a fun, easy way to do it where you don't have to worry about having every tool in the world. Just shows you how to do it. And I'm not going to worry too much for the back because the back what we'll do now, let's just do this for the back. Let's use this for the back, and I'm just going to give it pushes. All right, just like that. And what that's going to do is when I'm done, this will become the back of it, so it's not plain or whatever. So any marks or holes, it's not going to matter in the back because you're not going to really see it. It's just texture, right? Don't overthink it. It's a lot of fun. Okay. All right. Again, smoothing it out. We got that's real nice. I don't think any of that paint will come off because I'm already, it's already kind of in there because, All right, spray your clay with water. Take your stamp or letters. Again, use just regular letters that you get. You can get kids in the kids section and even in some of the stamp sections and stencil sections in your craft stores and whatnot, Walmart, all them. You could probably find really cool shapes and stuff in foam that are less expensive, but by all means, use what you have. And I'm just pushing it in. Okay. There we go. And you can see the word, very nice. And I'm just going to go and just kind of, just a little bit around where when I pushed the word in, the stamp, it kind of, pushed a little bit of the clay up. Not a big deal. But you can see, you can see the lines here and here. But I'm going to keep them this time. They're not as bad. Look at that. Now, obviously, this is going to be too big for a pendant for your necklace, what have you, even a bracelet. We'll be making in the future. We're gonna make some really cool where you can, you know what I mean? And we make bracelets and stuff. This is a little too big. This isn't what I'm going for on this one, but we're gonna have a lot of fun. Okay. So now what you're gonna do is read the directions on your clay, unless it's air dry. And usually it's like 265, 10 minutes an inch usually. So this will probably take about 20 minutes, 25. You're better to overcook it for a few minutes than undercook it, because if you undercook it, it's not going to cure all the way and it could break and that kind of thing. And you don't want that, right? So I'm going to go. Now these lines right here, I am going to just rub my fingers. I might do a little bit more water. And just kind of, you know, make them disappear. I don't want too much more than that, but I am going to take this stamp one more time. Again, use whatever you have. And just on the edges, just a little bit. You can see just a little bit. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I did that on the back. And I wanted to kind of, you know, kind of make it. And then there's like this little ploop right there. Let me hit the pupa for the ploop for a minute. Not the pupe. Poop. All right, see? See how we did it? And I need to get that little D bubble. Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this. And then when I come back, we will see how it comes out. Okay, so this is baked. You can see dream in there. You can see all the texture I put in. Now, something I did was I put just a little bit of texture on the sides before I baked it. And you could do that with, you know, a pencil or your stamp, whatever you have, a pin, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to move in just a little bit. I love playing with clay. It's one of my favorite things because you can just do anything. And if you mess up, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to take some black paint. And this is Folk Art Licorice. You guys, if you've been with me, you know, I use this stuff like crazy. I always buy big acrylic paints in black and white because no matter what paint you have, you can mix with either and get different looks. It's just a little tip. So now I'm just going to take a paintbrush. Let me find a paintbrush. And you want a fairly, well, you don't want a crunchy one. That's a crunchy one. You want a fairly big brush, you know, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Use what you have. And you want it wet. And you can see I squeezed some of my paint out. And what I'm going to do is, now you can squirt water on here if you don't want to do it with your paintbrush. It's up to you. Either way you do it. So you just water it down because we want it inky. And this is fun to paint with too. If you, let's see, let me show you real quick because you know I'm a doer. I get in my head too much. So if you take a thin brush like this, wet it, and you know, I was give it the little clean. And if you go in and your black is, you know, very watery, you can then, I like to hold it from up here, but you can go in and you can then, let's see, you can then write. You know, fancy. I'm sorry, that noise is my dog trying to find some sort of bubble wrap or something to lay on. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? And you can even wet it a little bit more if you want to make it very inky. You know, to use for whatever you want. So you guys know I love me some hearts because they're the easiest. But you see what I'm saying? So let's say you don't have, magic markers or permanent markers, Sharpies, Copics, whatever. But you have, you know, you have your paints. Black's good, but you can use whatever color. You know, you just kind of do it. And then you can go in and you can even, you know, you can draw with it. You could do your, you know, your eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? So you could do so much with this, any color that you want, and it really, really works well. So that's just a little tip from me to you. Now let's get to getting. Okay. So we are, let me try this light here. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so I have this, and what I'm going to do, let's start on the back. Now, you guys know I'm going to end up with dirty hands, but we're going to do the back first, and I'm going to leave that sit for a second. I am going to spray this just because I'm going to do this in sections, and I don't want it to necessarily dry out. I'm going to grab me a paper towel because y'all know I'm going to be on getting messy. I'm getting messy. And I'm going to leave that on there for a second. I'm going to blow on it because, you know, there's that. And then I'm just going to kind of very lightly wipe off the majority of it. You see how it's just still on there a little bit. But what you can see is the delicious cracks. Can you see them? Let me see if I can put my focus on here. My camera's so old. Okay, let's see if that helps. Yeah, see those cracks in there getting all that good deliciousness? So I'm just going to kind of go in and wipe it off. I leave it sit for a second, but look, it's up to you. And then look what we get. Look at that. And you could see it even goes down on the sides, and I can go on all the sides real quick as well and go on here one more time. Get it on there good and juicy, good and juicy. And then I just give it a second. Does it help if I leave it sit for a second? I think it lets it sink into the crevices. You know what I'm saying? Think about if you're a woman, there is a spider. Wait a minute. I am so sorry. Oh gosh, I don't like to kill them, but I don't want you here. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, please don't come back and haunt me. All right. Okay, my dog is now, oh my gosh, this dog. I love this dog. I do. I love this dog, but he's drama. He's a drama. Okay, so left that obviously sit enough, but let me show you if you could see how it sinks in. See how it's sinking in like right there and all the good cracks and crevices. I'm going to give it a wipe. Look at that. Nice. And then I'll wipe the sides. Same thing. Now, you could do this as many times as you want. I will do it one more time. And you know it's going to get on the back a little bit, but we're going to go there anyway, so it doesn't matter. And how about one more time? And this time I'm gonna pat that in. I'm gonna pack it in like it's concealer and foundation, and no, just packing that in. All my pores on my face. All right. Okay, go around those sides real good. Juicy. You see the juiciness? We love the juiciness. All right. Leave that go for another second, and then I will wipe it and turn it to the other side. Such fun. Such fun. Such fun. I love clay. I have a lot of clay things coming up. A lot of these kind of things. I'm going to link up above here. Matter of fact, I got to write that number down to remind myself. I'm going to link up there my heart that I did. And it's a heart with wings. And I had it sitting here, but obviously I hung it back up. And I will put the video for that. It's a heart with wings, and you can hang it, and it's out of very inexpensive wire and clay, and so much fun to do. And I just think with the holidays coming, it's fun to sit and do. And these things are, you know, you can sit with kids and do this kind of stuff. The polymer clay is not toxic. You want to make sure that you put your oven fan on, you know, when you're baking it, but you know, use a clay dedicated pan, but so much fun. So much fun, and fun to do with the kids. Okay, so now you can see I got that. So I'm just going to wipe this up for the moment, and I know I'm going to get more on there, but just to turn that, and you can see it kind of went there in all the places. So I'm going to take my brush again, and we're going in. We're just going in, and I'm caking it in there, just pouring it in. Get all those nooks and crannies. Speaking of, English muffins are one of my favorite things in the world. And I'm patting, and we're going to do the same thing. Now we want that to be dark in there, okay? We want that because we're going to be doing another layer on top. I'm just going to wipe some of the sides off. And we're going to pack it again. And I'm just scooping it up there, right? And if you want it a little darker, we can add a little bit more black if you want. Or whatever color. Listen, maybe you want to use purple. Maybe you want to use, I don't know, whatever you want. It's yours. Make it the colors you want. You know what I'm saying? Going a little thick there, pulling all that water in to make it watery. Really going in there on the sides. And the great thing is with this, you can turn it over and do more if you want. Do you know what I'm saying? So I like to do side by side, but you can, we can turn it over and, add more in there and then wipe it all off at once. It's up to you. Get it on those sides. This is just I mean, it's messy. Yeah, it's messy, but it's fun. And let me tell you something. You want to do it with, watercolor. Maybe that's all you have. That's fine. You want to do it with, which I have a technique coming up with pastels, and that'll be another video, but you can do this with, whatever colors that you want, whatever paint that you have. If you only have Crayola watercolor paint, you might want to do a few coats. It won't come out as dark, but guess what? You're still going to get some sort of beautiful piece when you're done. Do you know what I mean? And doing it with kids is so much fun. Just so much fun. But you want to make sure that you have some brown. When you go to the grocery store, get your brown paper bags. And what I do is I will tape them down, when you're doing it with kids or whatever, even if yourself, because look how messy I am. But, you can just tape it down in all the pieces and put it on the table so nothing gets ruined. Go to the dollar store and get a plastic, which is genius. Go get a plastic tablecloth and put that down and make that your craft paint. You know what I'm saying? You could do whatever. All right, wiping that off. And that's all I'm going to wipe off on that right now. And now I'm going to wipe this off. Oh, yeah. Talk about creepy. If I was going to keep this creepy. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that sit there for a second. And I'm going to put my brush in the water. I'm going to take my rag, my paper towel, and you can definitely put this on a page to not waste it, because normally that's what I would do, but today we're just going to kind of, oh, my garbage is way back here. Okay. Today we're going to just do it the easy way. Sometimes it's hard on video. All right. Nice and clean. I'll leave that sit there. I'm going to hit it real quick, and I'm going to do the back first with my heat gun. Not long, and then wipe off. See how that works? And look at those. Look at that. Look at those cracks. Give it just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm just going to dab this now, right? And I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. Now I'm going to show you what I did and how to fix it, which isn't that big a deal. All right, you see I have my fingerprints right there. Just take your brush. I just threw it in my water, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to have the black on it. And you just kind of do that. Leave it sit a minute so it soaks in, and that's okay. I'm just kind of wiping off. That's a nice crack there. I'm going to wipe this. A little messy. It's all right. Just be careful of the fingerprints. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but if you want to be extra. Okay. All right, now I'm going to hit that again. I want that dream in there too, for the most part. Now you can see it's pushing out a little bit of water, and I'm just going to dab it. We really want that to be dry the most that we can. And we're drying on the sides and okay, do a little bit on this side. Okay, let me show you. So far, look at that. Sorry, it's out of focus. It will focus in a momento. Look at that, how cool. That right there is just cool. Look at that. Oh, I love it. That's the back, which is cracked, you know, the same, but you could do whatever you want. But that right there, that's what we're concentrating on. Okay, so now what do we do? Well, pick a color that you like that you want on top. I think I'm either going to go for silver or purple. And you could tell I love this metallic amethyst. I use it for everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't stand it. But I also have this silver anniversary metallic. And I don't know which one I want to use. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I could sit here all day and make a bunch of these and use different colors. Maybe I shall. Maybe I shall. Maybe what I'll do today is use the silver so you guys could really see it on here. Do you know what I mean? And on the video, because it might be a little bit better. I don't know. Well, let's do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt some down there. I shook it. Make sure you shake your metallic. Very, very good. Now listen, if you don't have metallic paint, use whatever paint you have. Red, purple, orange, green, blue. It does not matter. And also, I have iridescent medium. Now this comes in, I know Folk Art sells it. There's a lot of different ones. So you don't have to spend a lot of money for it, but that's, you know, that's kind of what that is. Now what I'm going to do, you can use your finger, you can use a paintbrush, use whatever you want. But what I'm going to do is go over and I'm going to do this and see if it's bright enough. It might not be bright enough for me. I'm just very easily going over. Can you see how it shows those cracks? But maybe purple will be better. See, this is what's wrong with me. Everything. I'm so indecisive because I love color. Maybe I'll do the back silver. Yeah. I love paint. I love color. I'm a lover. I'm a lover. All right, so now I'm just going to go on with some of the purple. Very lightly over it. Go down here. Just very lightly with your finger. And these are like, I've done some random acts of kindness where I've sent different things that I've made. I've made with the mod melts and that kind of thing for just little lucky energy things. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're having a bad day or you're nervous or you need good luck and you just put them in your little pocket or you hold them in your hand or what have you, you know, and you have them. So I love doing that. And I love sending them out. So you never know when you're going to get something. Look at that. Oh. I'm just going to wipe the sides. And you can wipe it, you know, a little harder if you want those cracks to come through a little bit more. My main thing is I want the cracks to show, but I really want the dream to show. Look how pretty. And I love the dream. Now I want in the little E here, there's like the littlest little dot that I want to put some purple in because I just can't get it with my finger. So I'm just going to take, you can use your finger if you want, but I'm just going to take, no, I didn't wipe the thing off. So of course water dripped. Yeah, I just want that little peep on the E and the A. And that looks great. Oh, yeah. Now, this is how I do it. You can do it a different way. Maybe you want to paint it purple, and then you want to take... If I painted this purple and then did the black, it would take the purple down. Do you know what I mean? Which I love. You know, I love me some grunge, and I will be making some grunges, but I don't necessarily want this to be so grungy. So I'm doing it in a way that is kind of, you know, you can still see some of the black. You definitely can see the crevices, and you can see the black in there and how it highlights them. Now I'm going to do some silver on this side. And let's see what it does. And I'm going straight in, fairly thick, like that. Giving it a second. And you can see some of that black crevices coming in. And the deeper, the better sometimes. You know, I'm just showing you a basic right now, but you really can go crazy. And I'll do another one, and I'll show you sometime how crazy you can get it. Now this, look at this. I'm dipping it in those holes that I see because that'll make the black come out a bit better. Or you can drop it because it's slippery. Either way you want to do it. A little bit more here. And you can go over some of the purple if you want. You could do, you know, it's all good in the hood, sister, brother, whatever. Let's see how it looks like a stone. Awesome. Okay. All right. So there you go. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I'm not going to waste this paint. So I'm going to set this right there for a second. And I am going to take this is just the paper that I have. And I'm going to take my big that was in the black. I'm going to rinse it off the best I can. And I'll go in for the light first. And I'm just going to throw this down. And then kind of rub this in. And you can see the water. It's going to make it really, really cool looking. Mixing those two together. And then what I like to do, let's get all that in there. My paper towel. What did I do with my paper towel? Here it is. I like to crunch it up. And I'm going to take some of that off. Just a little bit. Because it's not going to take too much paint off. It's going to take more of the water. And the water already sinks in and gets some texture. And this can become what? A background for an ATC card. Very, very simply. And you let it dry. And you shall have it. There we go. Lift all that up so I don't put my arm and anything in there. And that works for that. So, here you go. And you can see, let me put it up real close with my dirty hands. Look how cool. And then the back. Oh my God, I can't today. Look. And you definitely can go in with more black, thicker black. I mean, you really can have a ball with this. But this is the first dream stone, lucky piece of art that I will be sending to somebody in a RAK. And I'm going to be making a bunch more with different words, believe, let me see, and different, not even just different words, just different pictures, different things. I know I have more here. Excuse my big arm. Imagine, inspire. So I have a lot of different words, and they are just to be, you know, just lovely little reminders and pieces for you to keep in your art room, in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your pocket, in your purse, wherever. If you want, you know, some good luck, you know, you just give it some love and you hold on to it and really put your energy into it and really pull my energy from this. These are all done with love. And I'm just going to send some out, you know, not to anybody in particular. I'm just doing some random acts of kindness, returning the favors and love that people have sent me. So keep your eyes out. I hope you like these. I'm going to have many more of these I'm going to be making, and much more clay we are going to be, playing with. And I'm very, very excited. So I hope you guys are too. If so, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It lets me know that you guys like these kind of videos and makes me very, very happy. Um, and please share me everywhere, like I'm your loose friend. And that's it. As always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you guys. You guys rock. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.